Have you ever wondered if something right next to your bed could be slowly damaging your health every single night? What if the cause of your poor sleep, constant headaches, or memory lapses isn't your age, but something far more hidden? And what if the very items you trust most in your bedroom are quietly affecting your heart and brain without you even knowing? Most people have no idea. As we grow older, we naturally take more medications, visit doctors more frequently, and search for answers about what's going wrong inside our bodies. Yet, very few of us consider that the real culprit might be sitting just inches away from our heads while we sleep. From insomnia and frequent headaches to forgetfulness and irregular heart rhythms, what if aging wasn't fully to blame? Imagine if the source of these problems is actually the steady, low-level radiation coming from the everyday devices we rely on in our bedrooms. In this video, we'll uncover 5 common bedroom items that silently emit radiation that has been closely linked to disrupted sleep, hormonal imbalances, and other health concerns, especially among older adults. These aren't complicated machines or exotic gadgets. In fact, they're ordinary items we often place near us without even thinking twice. They've become part of our daily routine. But here's something important to remember. After the age of 60, your body doesn't handle environmental stress the same way it once did. The things your body could easily ignore in your 30s might now pose a much greater risk. This isn't about creating fear, it's about raising awareness. Because once you understand the hidden risks, you can take simple, effective steps to protect your sleep, your health, and your long-term well-being. Let's dive in and take a closer look at the bedroom items that could be quietly shortening your life without you even realizing it. First on the list is the cell phone by your bed. Many of us are guilty of keeping our phones right next to us at night. It could be resting on the nightstand, tucked under the pillow, or even held in your hand as you fall asleep. But here's a truth that many people prefer to ignore. Even when you're not actively using it, your phone continues to send and receive signals. It constantly emits low levels of electromagnetic radiation that your body quietly absorbs throughout the night. Now, you might be wondering, how could something so common pose a risk? I've been doing this for years. That's exactly why it matters so much. The concern here isn't just about what happens during a single night. It's about the buildup of exposure, night after night for years or even decades. And it's during your most vulnerable hours, while you sleep, that this exposure becomes more concerning. Sleep studies have consistently shown that even low levels of radiation from cell phones can interfere with your body's natural production of melatonin. That's the key hormone your brain needs to help you fall asleep and stay asleep through the night. And for older adults, poor sleep isn't just a minor inconvenience. It has been closely linked to a wide range of health problems, from memory loss and cognitive decline to increased strain on the heart and a weakened immune system. But it doesn't stop there. Radiation doesn't just stay on the surface of your skin. Over time, it penetrates deeper into the body. Some researchers have voiced growing concerns about how close phones are often placed to the brain, especially when they're just inches away from your head for 6, 7, or even 8 hours every night. While scientists are still investigating the long-term effects, there's already a strong consensus among experts on one clear point. It's smart to minimize direct exposure whenever possible. Let me share a quick story with you. Walter, a 74-year-old man from Michigan, struggled for years with grogginess and a pounding headache most mornings. He had always assumed it was simply part of getting older. Then, one day, his granddaughter came across an article about phone radiation and suggested he try moving his phone farther from his bed. He decided to give it a shot, placing his phone on the other side of the room instead of right next to him. The results were surprising. Within just a week, Walter's headaches disappeared. He found himself sleeping more soundly and waking up with a clearer mind. No new medications, no complicated treatments, just one simple change. That's why I always share this advice. If you rely on your phone as an alarm clock, switch it to airplane mode before bed and keep it at least 6 feet away from where you sleep. And if you don't need it overnight, simply turn it off completely. You don't have to fear your phone, but you do need to be mindful of how close it gets to you, especially during the hours when your body is working hard to repair and restore itself. Now, let's move on to another common bedroom item that many people overlook: the Wi-Fi router. At first glance, it might seem harmless, just a small device with some blinking lights quietly sitting in the corner of your room. But here's the surprising truth. Your Wi-Fi router, especially if it's located just a few feet from your bed, can actually be one of the strongest and most consistent sources of electromagnetic radiation in your entire home. Unlike your phone, which might only send signals occasionally, the Wi-Fi router never takes a break. It's constantly at work, transmitting signals and pulsing with data, every minute of every night, even if you aren't actively using it. And the real issue isn't just the fact that radiation is present. It's about the timing. During sleep, your body naturally enters repair mode. This is the critical time when your cells regenerate and your brain begins to clear out waste, sort of like a gentle nighttime detox. But what happens when this crucial process is constantly interrupted by outside interference? During sleep, your body naturally slows down. Your heart rate decreases as your body works to recover and repair itself. But what happens when your nervous system is being quietly stimulated by constant electromagnetic waves throughout the night? It's almost like trying to rest in a room where the lights are left on. Your body can't fully relax. Research has shown that long-term exposure to electromagnetic fields, EMFs, at night can severely disrupt deep sleep cycles. It's been associated with elevated cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, and increased oxidative stress, both of which can gradually accelerate aging. Over time, this ongoing stress weakens your immune system, making it harder for your body to defend itself against illness. But beyond the physical effects, there's also a psychological side to this. Having technology so close to your bed subtly encourages late-night scrolling, checking emails, or watching just one more episode. And that delay in going to sleep comes with its own set of consequences. One particular study found that people who sleep in rooms where an active Wi-Fi signal is nearby tend to experience more frequent waking throughout the night. They reported feeling more restless, with increased daytime fatigue and sluggishness. Let me share a real-life example that might sound familiar. Marilyn, a 68-year-old woman from North Carolina, used to fall asleep every night while watching online videos in her bedroom. Her Wi-Fi router sat right next to her bedside lamp, just a few feet from where she slept. Over time, she noticed her blood pressure creeping higher, and her memory began to slip. Her doctor couldn't pinpoint any specific cause. Then, after reading about the potential risks, Marilyn decided to take action. She moved her Wi-Fi router out of the bedroom entirely and made it a habit to power it off before going to bed. The difference was remarkable. She started sleeping through the night more peacefully, and her daytime energy returned. She felt sharper, more focused, and more like her old self again. Here's a simple tip you can try at home. Consider using a timer plug for your Wi-Fi router so it automatically shuts off at midnight and turns back on in the morning. Or, if possible, relocate your router as far from the bedroom as you can. You don't need to disconnect from the world entirely. You just need to allow your body some uninterrupted time to rest, especially during those crucial hours when healing and restoration occur. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Just click subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support means a lot and helps us continue sharing useful, inspiring content to benefit your well-being. Now, let's continue with the next item on the list. Number 3, the electric blanket that's always plugged in. There's something incredibly comforting about slipping into a cozy, warm bed, especially during the colder months. For many older adults, electric blankets feel like a small indulgence, a soothing way to ease joint pain or drift off to sleep more quickly. But here's something you may not realize. Most people don't realize this, but if you're using an electric blanket every night and keeping it plugged in while you sleep, you could be exposing your body to a constant stream of low-frequency electromagnetic radiation. And this exposure isn't just occasional. It's happening right against your skin for several hours at a time. The tricky part is that this radiation doesn't feel hot. It doesn't make noise, and there's no buzzing or humming to alert you. Yet, it silently penetrates the body. Over time, this exposure can interfere with your body's natural nighttime rhythms in ways you might not expect. During deep sleep, your body depends on a natural drop in core temperature to signal that it's time to enter repair mode. But when an electric blanket keeps your body artificially warm all night long, and your tissues are absorbing electromagnetic fields at the same time, it disrupts this crucial process. This disruption isn't just about comfort. It can impact the systems that keep your heart, brain, and immune defenses functioning properly. And there's another concern here, one that many experts, especially those focused on men's health, are warning about more often. It comes down to the blanket's proximity to sensitive areas of the body, particularly the reproductive organs. The blood vessels and nerves in the pelvic region are quite delicate and very responsive to both heat and electromagnetic fields. Long-term exposure in that area, even at relatively low levels, can gradually impair circulation, reduce tissue elasticity, and in some cases, cause numbness or decreased sensitivity. This isn't meant to frighten anyone. It's about becoming more aware that our bodies can be far more sensitive than we often realize, especially as we grow older. Let me share a personal story from a health seminar I attended. I met a man named Walter, 74, from Minnesota. For nearly a decade, Walter had used his electric blanket every single night, all night long. He believed it was helping him sleep better. However, he also suffered from tingling in his legs, restless nights, and frequent trips to the bathroom at night. Eventually, he was advised to stop using the blanket throughout the night. Instead, he was encouraged to simply warm up his bed before getting in, then unplug the blanket completely before lying down to sleep. At first, he was skeptical, but within just a few weeks, he noticed real improvements. His sleep became deeper and more restful, and the tingling sensations in his legs began to fade. Here's a better, safer approach that many experts recommend. Use your electric blanket to pre-warm the bed for about 20 to 30 minutes before you go to sleep, then unplug it completely before lying down. Alternatively, you can switch to a hot water bottle or a microwavable heating pad. These options still offer soothing warmth, but without any radiation exposure, and they let you enjoy that cozy comfort without any hidden risks. Now, let's move on to another common item that often gets overlooked. Number 4, the wireless alarm clock sitting right next to your head. At first glance, it might seem completely harmless. Just a small digital clock with glowing red numbers on your nightstand may seem harmless, quietly ticking away the hours as you sleep. But many modern wireless alarm clocks continuously emit low levels of electromagnetic radiation, especially those with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi syncing features. The issue isn't just that these devices keep track of time, it's their location. They're often placed just inches from your head for 6 to 8 hours every night. That's a long time for your brain to be surrounded by an invisible cloud of EMFs. And this becomes even more concerning for older adults. As we age, the blood-brain barrier tends to weaken, making the brain more vulnerable to subtle, long-term changes that might otherwise go unnoticed. The result? Your sleep quality can gradually decline without you ever realizing the true cause. You might find yourself waking up more often during the night or experiencing lighter, less restorative sleep. Groggier mornings may become your new normal. In fact, some people even report frequent tension headaches or persistent brain fog, symptoms that sometimes clear up only after they remove or move these devices farther away from their sleeping area. There's another important factor to consider: your circadian rhythm. Many of these clocks emit light, sometimes red, sometimes blue or white. While red light tends to have minimal impact on sleep, blue and white lights have been shown to suppress melatonin production, which is the essential hormone your body relies on to regulate sleep. That seemingly harmless glow from your clock could actually be nudging your body out of its natural nighttime rhythm, especially if you tend to wake up during the night and glance over at it. Let me share a story that highlights just how significant this can be. Mary, a 67-year-old woman, had been struggling with poor sleep for years. No matter how many hours she spent in bed, she always woke up feeling exhausted. She had a Bluetooth-enabled alarm clock by her bed, which also charged her phone and synced with her smart home system. One day, after learning about the potential effects of EMFs, she decided to make a simple switch. She replaced her digital clock with a basic battery-powered analog clock. No Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi, no lights. The difference was immediate. Within just a few days, she reported deeper, more restful sleep and noticed her morning headaches had disappeared. Here's a straightforward tip that could help you too. Keep your alarm clock at least 3 feet away from your bed. If possible, switch to a non-digital clock or choose one without Wi-Fi or Bluetooth functions. And if your clock emits any type of light, either cover it or position it so the light faces away from you. Small changes like this cost nothing but can have a powerful impact on the quality of your sleep and the health of your brain. If you're still watching this video and finding these tips useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support truly helps us continue creating helpful, inspiring content just for you. Now, let's move on to number 5, the metal spring mattress right beneath you. Out of all the items in your bedroom, there's one you spend the most time in every night, and yet it's probably the last thing you'd suspect of quietly affecting your health: the traditional metal spring mattress. At first glance, it may seem completely unrelated to radiation or toxins, but recent concerns have been raised about how these common mattresses can interact with the electromagnetic fields present in your home environment. Here's what happens. Most metal spring mattresses are built with a network of interconnected coils made from conductive materials. These coils aren't just there to support your body. Because they conduct electricity, they can act almost like antennas, picking up and even amplifying the ambient electromagnetic radiation that surrounds us. That radiation can come from nearby sources like Wi-Fi routers, cordless phones, or even external power lines outside your house. The biggest problem here isn't just the presence of EMFs floating in the air. It's the way your mattress might be concentrating that radiation directly beneath your body, night after night while you sleep. And for older adults, this matters more than many people realize. During sleep, your body goes through essential repair processes, everything from cell regeneration and hormone balancing to immune system strengthening. This healing work happens most effectively during deep, uninterrupted sleep. However, some studies suggest that long-term exposure to even low levels of EMFs may interfere with this critical nighttime restoration. It may subtly disrupt your sleep patterns, increase oxidative stress in your body, and even disturb the balance of essential hormones. You may not feel anything at first. The effects tend to build slowly and silently over time. But eventually, you might start noticing more frequent fatigue, muscle stiffness, or a lingering sense of brain fog that just doesn't seem to go away, no matter how much rest you get. Let me tell you about George, a 74-year-old man who shared his experience with me. He had struggled with falling asleep for years. He tried everything: sleep aids, relaxation techniques, white noise machines, but nothing seemed to help. Then, someone casually mentioned the idea that electromagnetic fields from his mattress might be playing a role. Driven by curiosity, George decided to make a change. He switched to a mattress made entirely from latex and natural foam. No springs, no metal. And the results? Within just 2 weeks, he experienced the deepest, most refreshing sleep he'd had in years. Now, let's be honest, not everyone may feel this difference right away. But if you've already tried everything else, from adjusting your sleep environment to changing your habits, and you're still struggling with unexplained fatigue or restless nights, it may be time to consider what's directly beneath you. Switching to a non-metal mattress isn't just about comfort. It could quietly offer far more benefits than you ever imagined, supporting not only your sleep, but also your overall health in subtle yet meaningful ways. Of course, replacing an entire mattress can be expensive or difficult for many people. But here's a simpler alternative. Even adding a thick topper made from natural fibers, like organic cotton or wool, can help create a barrier between your body and the metal coils below. This small change may significantly reduce your direct exposure to those hidden electromagnetic fields, making your sleep more restorative. It's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes it's not the flashy new gadget or the obvious habit that's draining your energy. Sometimes it's something as ordinary and familiar as the mattress you've been sleeping on for decades, something you assumed was harmless, yet it might quietly be making your nights less restful and your days more difficult than they need to be. Now, let's take a step back and reflect on everything we've uncovered. There's something unsettling about realizing that the very room designed to protect and restore us, our bedroom, could be filled with items that, over time, quietly work against our well-being. And yet, as we reach our 60s, 70s, and beyond, we no longer have the luxury of ignoring the things that quietly drain our energy. Every small detail begins to matter. The soft hum of a plugged-in clock, the faint flicker of a device left on standby, or the subtle glow from a screen that's been left running. These may seem harmless in the moment, but they can slowly take their toll. And for those of us who want to safeguard what we've worked hard to preserve, our mental clarity, our physical strength, and our precious remaining years, these little choices make all the difference. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step toward change. And once you take action, even in small ways, it often leads to better, brighter days. You don't need to overhaul your entire home or throw everything away. Start simple. Unplug devices that don't need to be on overnight. Rethink the items placed near your head as you sleep. Maybe crack open the window every now and then, letting fresh air fill your room and giving your bedroom a chance to breathe right along with you. These choices aren't just about avoiding radiation or chasing after every health scare that comes along. They're about something deeper, reclaiming a sense of peace, of control, in a world that sometimes makes older adults feel overlooked or powerless. You still have the ability to decide what stays in your space. You still hold the right to protect your comfort and create a restful, nourishing environment for yourself. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and share at least one thing you learned from this video, along with how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your voice truly matters to us, and we read every comment with great appreciation. Your words encourage and inspire us to keep going. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating meaningful content to inform, uplift, and empower you. Wishing you great health, endless happiness, and peaceful, restful nights ahead. And don't forget, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more valuable tips and inspiring stories.